Hello friends, so this is just a review, unboxing, flip through of the Akashic Tarot by Sharon and Klingler and Sandra and Taylor. So I've had this one on my wish list for quite a while. I've seen some of the artwork and it is just beautiful. I don't remember a lot about this deck, but I remember the reason why I didn't get it right away was because it's very different. It's its own system, so it's not a traditional tarot. Although it does say tarot, it's got a major and a minor arcana and then like different suits. So let's have a look at it anyway. So this one says it's got a 62 card deck. It's 62 cards in there, so a standard tarot deck is 78 cards. So yeah, I'm not really sure what we're in for, but I'm going to open it up and we'll have a look. Okay, so let's open her up. The box is very, very sturdy, like very strong box. It's a Hay House, published by Hay House. Okay, let's have a look. Wow, the book is mammoth. It's huge. Huge book, which is great because it's a different system. I'll probably have to be using the book or have a good look at the book. So let's have a good look at the book and see what the system is explained in there. So bear with me. So in the beginning, it tells you about the Akashic records and what that is and how to access and tap into that knowledge. Okay, so here's the information that I was looking for. So we have 4 suits. So the first one is the suit of roses, which is relationships, emotions, families, children, homes, personal and inner conflict, and communities in life. Okay, so that's actually a lot that covers. The suit of scrolls is the mind, communication and study. So that sounds like swords, really. The first one, I guess, could be like cups. The suit of keys represents the values, wealth, success, worth, abundance, career, authority, confidence, achievement, and the power that you experience and express in your life. So I guess like pentacles. The suit of forces is all about energy, consciousness, and the natural law. Interesting. So just a little, I guess it's not really that much like wands. Okay. So then it talks about how to read the cards, how to work with the cards. This is a very, very in-depth book. Then it's got a spread section with quite a few different tarot spreads in there. And then when we go to the meanings of the cards, the first one here, the Oracle of Delphi, it has an upright meaning and a reverse meaning. So these cards you can read reversed, which I love that. I always love that added extra. It gives a whole nother depth to a reading. And then at the bottom it has Akashic Force. Close your eyes, go within, feel your psychic energy growing, expanding upward from the very depths of your being. Now notice the first thing that you sense. So it's like little exercises on how to better connect with the energy of that card, which I love. I love that, especially for learning. So yeah, let's just have a look. I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll do this flip through and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, so let's dig in. So first of all, let's have a look at the backs of the cards here. So I actually love this. I love the green and yellow. These cards have a very smooth velvety finish, which I love for shuffling because I like to take jumpers. It's a matte finish, so not gloss, which is great for me for filming. The first thing I notice about these cards is the borders. The borders are chunky. I'm not really a fan of having borders because I feel like it takes away from the image. The images in this deck are absolutely beautiful and I wish that they had given them more space to be seen. I feel like the borders can be quite distracting, and with this particular deck it's almost as if they have 2 borders rather than one. It's like got that gold border or the yellow border and then the red border on the inside. So I feel like the images are absolutely beautiful and I just wish they were bigger, right? But let me check the cardstock. Cardstock is quite thick and durable, which is fabulous. Okay, all right, let's go for it. So the first one we have is the Oracle of Delphi. So we've got some Greek references there. Okay, the Akashic Library. Yeah, these images, like, there's so much detail in these images, and it's such a shame that the borders are there, because I feel like, so if you look closely at this one, like, see the books here? There's so much detail within this library, and even like his facial expression and in his face, it's just beautiful, beautiful imagery. And I just wish that, yeah, they didn't have the borders, but I'm not going to keep going on about the borders. Okay, next up we have Archangel Gabriel, so the messenger, so that he talks about channeling, and so he's the archangel of like channeling and God's messenger. Right, beautiful. I love the addition of archangels in this deck. So we have, is that birth? Stunning. Hilarion. So I guess that's sort of similar to the Hermit. So for those of you who do not know about Hilarion, he lived his life as a hermit, as a recluse. So what I'm noticing so far is a little bit of a biblical theme going on here as well. Okay, the divine physician. So that could be like Raphael, Archangel Raphael, or Jesus perhaps. Okay, fated meeting. This very much reminds me of the Lover's card in the tarot. Oh, he's Archangel Raphael, so I guess the other one was not representing Raphael. Which is interesting because I feel like those two cards would have very similar meaning because he is the healer. Archangel Michael. I like this image because it shows a gentler side of Archangel Michael. You know, usually he is depicted, you know, wielding a sword. And here, these children are so connected and fawning over him, which I love. And he's just got that wide open heart chakra. Beautiful. The light of the world. The Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, that's the artifact which holds the 10 Commandments, I think. So yeah, more biblical references here. Okay, that's really interesting. We have the Scribe. The detail in the faces here is just amazing. I feel like I'm right there in the room with them. Love that in a deck. Love when you can connect so deeply with a scene that it's as if you're in there. So we have Buddha here. Okay, so we're not, we had quite a few Christian references, and now we have Buddha, which is great because I like that diversity. It has representations from other spiritual practices, which is great. Initiation and the Count Saint Germain. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it's a little bit Christian heavy at the moment, this deck for me. The Muse. Caught in the Ruins. The Lookout. Up in the Air. This is interesting because we're still in the major arcana, and in the beginning everything was so very spiritual about Akashic records and the saints and the archangels, and we're still going through the cards, but the cards seem to be becoming a little bit more general rather than spiritual. Reflection. I'm really interested to see what is in the suits. Will, wisdom, and mind. That's interesting because this is the symbol of the Holy Trinity, the Celtic symbol, which usually represents the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So that's interesting to see will, wisdom, and mind. Uriel and the Sphinx. Not a reference that I'm familiar with. I'm not sure how Archangel Uriel relates to the Sphinx, so I'll be interested to read about that in the book. Adsum. I'm not sure what the meaning of Adsum is. It kind of looks like in the image that there's some elder ancestors around in the spirit world, so it could have something to do with mediumship. Okay, so here we go. So we're going on to scrolls now. So this is the first suit, on track. See, I love this because this is a bit more general. This feels like a oracle to me now. Two of Scrolls, two worlds. So much going on in some of the images. Very busy. So I feel like you could get a lot of intuitive hits from this deck. Setting your course. The Karmic Trench. Diversity. This is really interesting because this is not particularly the imagery that I would use to represent diversity, which is, yeah, interesting choice of image there. Six of Scrolls, the Sands of Time. Love this. Seven of Scrolls, Intricacies and Industry. Eight of Scrolls, Paths Unknown. I noticed there's a lot of scrolls in the scrolls, like in all the imagery. There's scrolls in all the imagery, baskets of scrolls and things like that. I guess that makes it easier to recognize which suit it's from. Okay, so we have a Queen of Scrolls, so that's interesting. So I can see, and the next one's a King. So we have Queen and King, no Page or Knight. King of Scrolls. Okay, so we're up to the next suit, Roses. One of Roses is commitment, represented by a contract there. Two of Roses, the Winged Messenger. Three of Roses, Loving Elementals. Little fairies there. Oh, the little face. I'm just going to bring this a little closer so you can see that little face. Focus, please. The detail there is just incredible. Four of Roses, Views of the Ego. Five of Roses, the Garden. I'm really excited to work with this deck, but I feel like this is something so foreign. It's nothing like the traditional tarot. So I will be having to use the book, I think, to become more familiar with the themes of what's going on. But there's so much going on in the imagery, you could just use it intuitively as well. But I'd like to get more familiar with the images and what the creator's interpretations of the images are. Beautiful. So we have the War of the Roses. Seven of Roses, the Journey. See, like in this one in particular, like there's a lot going on here and it's a bit difficult to see. But I feel like if those borders weren't there, I know I said I wasn't going to go on about the borders, but if those borders weren't there, we could get so much more. We'd be able to see so much better what's going on here. Eight of Roses, Sangha or community. I love it because this is so relatable. You know, that could be anyone's kitchen that you would just, you know, or dining area that you would just step into there. Love that. Like, I love the imagery so much. It's not like too ethereal, you know. Queen of Roses. And then we have the King of Roses. Interesting that he's not surrounded by roses, but yellow flowers. Daffodils, I think they are. Okay, now we're on to forces. The Akashic field. Interesting, so we're back to that sort of ethereal vibe, which seems, okay, seems a little bit back to the theme of the major arcana. So we have the Akashic field, and then one of the other cards in the major arcana was the Akashic records or something. The Willow. The Bird's Nest. So a lot of nature theme going on in this suit. Spring and autumn. Now this one's interesting because spring and autumn don't connect to each other. They are opposites, right? Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So this is spring, and if I turn it, because if I'm looking at the image, if I turn it this way in reverse, this is autumn, which is really interesting. Okay. So next up we have summer and winter. So that's the image for summer. And then we'll turn it for winter. Waterfall. So all very natural images for this particular suit. Whereas the other ones were more about scenes of what was going on, what was happening. Balance. So this one's a little confusing to me because it's got the scrolls, right? But this is not the scroll suit, this is forces. A lot of the use of scroll imagery there. Eight of Forces, the Lightning Bolt. This card reminds me of the Tower. Then we have the Queen of Forces. So she's obviously like, she reminds me of the Queen of Swords because she's got like both aspects, equal balance of everything there. She's like the scales. The way she's standing represents sort of the scales to me. She's giving me very Queen of Swords vibes. Okay, King of Forces. But then he is very different to a King of Swords because he is giving me a lover of nature and animals. So I'm really excited to work with this book so that I can get a better understanding of this system. Okay, final suit, we have the keys. So we've got the architect, the treasure. He doesn't look very happy with his treasure. He looks a little bit disappointed there. Maybe this treasure was not all that he expected it to be. Or maybe he's just got to the chest and it's empty. Couple of coins on the floor. The chess game. Clearing the way. Wishes fulfilled. In crescent moon. The ascent. The master artisan. Again, so much detail in the faces. It's incredible. Like I can see like the stubble in his beard, right? Absolutely incredible. I feel like I'm there. I'm right there with you, you know? And then we have Queen of Keys. And King of Keys. Well, he looks quite happy with himself, doesn't he? He's quite chuffed. Okay, so overall, I love this deck. I can't wait to work with it. It was just the borders for me, which were a little bit disappointing. So the next reading that I upload to my channel will be a pick a card reading using these cards. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, working with them, see how they go. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Until next time.